Hey, this is Rachel Youngson from useplr.com and wholefoodplr.com. We're here with our weekly PLR Power Hour. This is your chance to ask questions, get resources, talk about what's going on in the PLR world, showcase your business, who you are. Maybe you just want to take an hour out of your week to lurk in what we're talking about and work on your PLR, and that's totally okay too. So today we're going to be talking about free PLR. So a lot of people, you get, well, as a PLR seller, I can tell you that a lot of us have free PLR because we want people to sample our product. We want you guys to kind of get a feel for who we are. We want you to see how we write, how we organize our packages to kind of entice you to bond with us, so to speak, to learn more about us, or to want to join our mailing list or anything else. But as a seller of PLR, the catch here is that my buyers, when they get that PLR, they don't always know how to maximize it. So a lot of times folks seem to get this free PLR from a site and they look over it, and maybe they do look at it and check it out and see what it reads like, and maybe that free PLR does spark future purchases from that buyer or from that seller, and maybe everything's good. But what I see more often than not is those free pieces aren't actually used. They're just kind of observed, so to speak. Like they're looked through maybe, but they are not actually put into action. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit today. And I wanted to talk about like the whole free PLR game and how you can use it to make money. Because, we don't tend to think that you can use something free and make money from that. We tend to not calculate things that way. But it's very true. You can take that free PLR and use it to turn a profit. And then that profit can go into buying more PLR from that person if you really like them. But I mean, it's all about money, right? It's all about these buy buttons and the bottom line and getting things done and all that good stuff. So first, I'd love to talk about, Carol, can I ask you a question really quickly? Did you have any issues logging in today? If you wouldn't mind just letting me know in the chat box while I pull up our notes for today, I'd really appreciate it. Hey, Miss Jen. Good to see you today. All right, so first thing I want to go over is, what do you do when you download that free PLR? You can get it from anywhere. The thing about free PLR is that both good PLR sellers have it and not so good sellers have it. If a seller doesn't have anything free for you to kind of get a feel for them, I would really be wary of talking to them. In fact, if you ever come across a website or a PLR seller and they don't have the option for free PLR, or they have free things on their page, but none of them are PLR, you have no idea who they are, you haven't heard from them before, I tell all my clients, just send me an email, rachel@useplr.com, and we will sort it out. I know I've been doing this a long time. I know a lot of people in this market, and I will let you know, yeah, you can trust this person, or let's find another alternative for you. Because you really need to make sure that you're spending your money the best way possible when you spend it, that you make the best use possible out of the free stuff, and of course that you're turning your business, right? Because business runs fast. Okay, so first thing, you download your PLR, you're looking at it, and first tip though is make sure that you find PLR in a niche that you like. If you go to, let's say, if you go to a PLR seller and they have all internet marketing PLR, and they have a freebie on internet marketing, and you know it's a really great seller, but maybe you're in the food niche, that might kind of be a waste of your time. So if you're not planning on using it or whatever, I see a lot of cases of PLR hoarding, as they call it, you know, and I'm guilty of it myself. It's so easy to do, but if you don't have a use for that PLR, I wouldn't even bother. Even if you know that the seller is great. I mean, you can always make a note in your business plan to check back with them, or you know, when you're changing niches or anything like that. But for now, I would really make sure that you get something that works or should work for you. So when you go to download that, when you go to look at that, you want to think about, how am I going to reformat this PLR? What am I going to do with this PLR? What's my strategy going to be here? You don't have to have it all detailed, but you do have to kind of have some type of a mental plan going, because otherwise you run the risk of downloading it to your hard drive, walking away from it, never seeing it again, and that's not really great, right? I mean, that's not what we're in business to do. So think about how you're going to use or format that PLR. Are you going to make it into blog posts? Are you going to turn it into a video series? Are you just going to pull some tips out of it and make it into checklists? You just want to, is it maybe an article pack and you just want to bundle it, put some pictures in it, turn it into a PDF and throw it somewhere on your site? You know, do it. Totally. I mean, that's what you want to do. I always suggest, though, that you read the terms before you mess with any piece of PLR that you buy. Us sellers, we will list the do's and don'ts, essentially, of what you can do with our license. And you just want to be sure that you respect that, because you don't want to run into a situation where most sellers, if you have a miscommunication, that's one thing. But you really don't want to run into a situation where maybe a seller has sticky things in their rights, and it's not going to allow you to use them the way that you want to. So you just always want to be sure that you pay attention to those PLR rights. Okay, and it looks like some of our, wow. So it looks like some of our folks are having some issues logging in today. So the replay, I will make sure gets out really quickly and gets put on social media as well. But thank you for those who were able to get in. I'm really thankful to have you here. We will take care of that. Oh, that's so fun, right? Tech issues on a Tuesday. Anyway, so figure out your format, find your images. I found one of our members of our Use PLR members group mentioned this great image site called pngtree.com, and his name is Don, and his name is Dave Clark, and I just want to say thank you, Dave Clark, for telling us about this. Dave also does writing as well. He's one of the service providers that we have in our group. So if you want anything written, if you need to connect with him at all, please feel free to send me an email, rachel@useplr.com. But for now, PNG Tree is the place where he gets a lot of his images from, and it's a good place. I've been there. I like it because they are royalty-free images. It does give you options other than Pixabay. For those of you who are newer to these calls, Pixabay is my personal favorite go-to place for images that are royalty-free. But people they get tired of this one image site, right? So PNG Tree gives you more options in that sense. It kind of takes everything a little bit broader. The one thing I will say, though, is that a lot of the things that are there, you will have to Photoshop if you want to edit. So that can be a little tricky for some people. Personally, for me, I don't Photoshop. I just throw things in Canva and I mix them up, shake them up, throw them into my product creation tool, and I run about my life. But for those of you, though, who are interested in learning how to Photoshop, I was able to find a Photoshop class by Samantha Angel, who actually, this is a free This is a free challenge. This is from Samantha Angel, and she has actually done images for my sites before. Way back when I was working full time, I outsourced like 90% of my stuff, and she was one of my go-to people. So I've dropped that link there. So if you do want to take a look at PNG Tree, I would recommend you pair that with this Photoshop challenge, because Sam loves Photoshop and she's really good at it. And that way you have 2 free resources that you can use to help you grow your business, right? Which is great. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was what do you do? What are your formatting goals? So the regulars on these calls, they hear this all the time, so they're probably going to snooze through this next part. But I always recommend that you try to reformat your PLR in some way, shape, or form. There's a lot of easy things that you can do to make it your own, but that's not necessarily reformatting it. When I say reformatting, I am talking turning an article into a blog, or I'm sorry, turning an article into a video, turning a video into a checklist, turning a video into an MP3, turning a webinar into a podcast. I'm talking about all that fun repurposing kind of stuff. That's what I mean when I talk about reformatting your PLR. And I think that this is a wonderful thing to do, particularly when you are getting a piece of free PLR from someone, because I have 1,000 clients, right? They come to my site. 1,000 people maybe haven't bought my Paleo for Beginners pack, but I can guarantee you pretty close to 1,000 people have downloaded my free PLR. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot more of, because it's free, there's a much bigger chance that other people are using it too. Not a big deal if you have a plan for your PLR, you know how to put it into action, you know how to brand it and reformat it and get it out there, and you have these action steps that you take every time. Not a big deal, but if you're newer to PLR, then it is a big deal, right? Because you don't really know what to do with that. And a lot of what I find with my clients is it's nerve-wracking to download a piece of PLR and think that 100 other people have that same piece of PLR, and now you're trying to figure out what to do with that. When it's free PLR, it's even a bigger amount, because everybody likes free things, and we do all tend to just download and store things and things like that. So reformatting is a great way to make sure that you take that free PLR and you turn it into something that I could look at it and I could be like, hey, is that my PLR? I mean, in all honesty, if you use PLR the right way, and reformatting does this beautifully, you can actually have side-by-side PLR, no idea that it's this. I would have no idea it's the same thing. Because why? Because this is a report. It's got one title. It looks a certain way. This is a podcast. It's got a different title. It's even if it has the wording of the report verbatim, it's a totally different format. How many people are going to say, okay, well, I have read this report like 3 months ago, and now I'm listening to a podcast, very likely while I'm at the gym or in my car, and that's exactly the same. It's not going to happen. I mean, honestly, the odds are astronomical. If it does happen, by the way, in some crazy universe, then all you do is just be really nice. Let them know, yeah, hey, I'm sorry if they bought a product. If they bought the product from you, just return their money. Let them know that you're just there to service them and help them grow their business or personal life or whatever your niche serves, and go about your day. I mean, I've seen people who've done very little reformatting with their PLR, made lots of money on it, and yeah, I have seen, because they've done so little formatting, I have seen them have a couple of complaints. But that's like 1 or 2 versus 100 plus sales. I mean, what's the, are you really going to stick your business, like get stuck in your business for 2 sales out of 100 plus sales? I mean, what's better for business, And they still have great reputations. They are still sought after coaches. I know that these are the coaches that my coaches gets coaching from, this kind of thing, so they've been in the game a really long time. And yeah, they think about using PLR, not a big deal, because they have a plan. They know, okay, well, sorry, this, I'll refund your money. How can I take care of you? We'll get this straight. Not a big deal. So the last thing that I wanted to go over with you guys is what your next step is. So you do your reformatting, or you do your editing, you have this new piece of PLR up on your blog post, or you have it as an email opt-in gift. What is your next step? Now, I want to be clear here. I'm not talking about your next step with that piece of PLR. I mean, if you'd like, I would be more than happy to go into, okay, well, you want a shopping cart, you want an affiliate program, you want to think about how you're going to monetize this and where you're going to monetize this. I would be more than happy to go into all of that. But honestly, I kind of go over that. I go over that more often than not. So I wanted to, for the sake of time, I wanted to just focus on what do you do if you download a piece of PLR. It's free. You've put it out there. You've maybe made a couple of bucks on it, which you should be able to. Or you have it out there as free opt-in gifts. So you're getting subscribers, which is also a wonderful benefit. What do you do then? Well, if you like the PLR, then yeah, get more of it. I mean, it's really not rocket science, right? But what I recommend to my clients is if you serve, let's say I serve the pet niche, okay? And Don has pet PLR. He's a PLR provider. He has pet PLR. I've gotten his free PLR, and it's great. And he has a membership. I'm in that niche. It's a niche that I'm in long-term in. It's not, I'm not talking, I want to be really specific here. I'm not talking about, some folks have these little mini sites in all various niches, and they just build traffic and send traffic to those little sites. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, this is my niche. This is who I am. This is what I'm passionate about. And I'm in this for the long haul, right? I want to educate my customers in the best way possible. I know that I've now found PLR that is related to my niche. What do I do next? If he has a membership site, I am all there, right? Because I know that every month I'm going to get something like clockwork that I can use to, I can take my PLR action plan, match it with what I've just downloaded, get it out there as a product, and go on with my life. It's just that simple. Not everybody has membership sites, but some do. And if you know that it's going to serve your niche, it's a really, really important way to go. Now, again, I really want to stress, if you're not really in a niche, like if you are, but you aren't kind of thing, like maybe you have these, I know some people who have like various blogs on various topics, and they don't really do much with them because they're like set up so that you come in and you kind of go through the sales funnel, and then that's just that. I mean, they're not, let's say they don't have like a Facebook group like we have here with Use PLR. They just have this website, and you go through the website and then you're done. And if that's you and that works for your business, then that's great. But I would recommend not getting involved in a membership site for something like that. Some people may have different opinions. My opinion, though, comes from the fact that I really like to do 2 things with my clients. One is be transparent, and the second is try to save them money whenever possible and help them to build real businesses and not these Not these give me cash right now and I don't have to work for anything kind of things. Because it's not that easy. It's easy. It's easier than my 9-to-5 was, but it's not like people sometimes think. And I would hate to feel like I steered somebody wrong in that. So, and I'm not saying, I also want to say, I'm not saying these miniature websites are a bad idea. So they work for people, and if they work for you, that's great. I mean, the people that I know who do them are not scam artists. They're just people who have these little baby sites, and they really do help people. They just have a funnel, and you go through the funnel, and then you're done, and that's fine. But if you're in a niche for the long haul, then a membership site is great. So go take that free PLR, use that free PLR to try to make a profit. And if they have a membership site, once you know that their PLR looks good and it reads well, and you know the rights that they had with that free PLR, check out that membership site, because that way you can feed your customers month after month after month. And it takes so much stress off of you when you have a format that you like, it's already there for you. Yes, it's up to you to change it, to make it your own, to make it unique. That's completely up to you. But that format is like just having, it's like when you build a house and you have the construction worker does the walls and it looks great, it looks okay, I mean, you know, but the interior designer, that's the person who goes in and makes it all pretty, right? That's the person who goes in and it's like, oh, well, we're going to flip this house and this house is going to look great. You're going to sell this for $1 million and blah, blah, blah. You know, that's the interior designer. That's not the construction guy. So in that line of thinking, it's the same thing. PLR gives you your house. You're the interior designer. You go into that house, you make it your own, you make it pretty, you change it up, you move things around, you know, you put new things in, you take things out that aren't of service to you, you really make it your home, and then you can share it with the world. Which I actually have to tell you guys that I think that was a pretty freaking good analogy, and I just came up with that off the top of my head. So go me. Anyway, so that's my spiel for today. That's what I wanted to run by you guys and let you guys kind of think on. I also, while I have everyone here, I did want to let you know that one of our clients I know we have some moms in our group, and there is a website that is out or coming out specifically for parents who have children, and it's like Yelp for kids. So not in the sense that your kids can download this app and go on this app and find out where they want to hang out, but in the sense that it will show you what's around that's kid friendly, that is safe for your kids to go to, that, you know, won't leave your kid, especially a toddler, like screaming in the middle of a restaurant because they're bored out of their minds. And let's face it, a lot of us have been there. So I'm going to give you the link for that right now, and I'm going to give you the video that I was looking at, and you can take it for what you want. I do want to let you guys know that our group member Kim is the one who knows more about this than I do. My son is not a toddler anymore. He's at the age where he kind of goes and does his own thing. But I do really feel like this will be of service. I know that a lot of folks in our group have kids, especially younger kids. A lot of folks are, you know, interested in the family niche and the and things that kind of bring families together. So I think this might be a good fit. You can feel free to let Kim know if you have any questions. She is in our Use PLR members group. She said that you can tag her if you have any questions. And let me get the spelling of her name for you. There we go. All right, so now we're open to questions. Does anybody want to talk today? If you don't want to talk, just say lurk in the chat box. That's totally okay. If you want to talk, then I am here to listen, and we can work through anything you want to work through. We can chit chat. We can, do whatever you want. But if you could please drop me a note in the chat box and let me know if you want to lurk or talk today. And we can, of course, if you're newer to these calls and you want a deeper description on things that we talked about, feel free to let me know. Any questions that you have, let me know. One thing that I love to tell my clients is, I don't want you to think that I know everything in the world. I do know a lot, but I don't like the term like guru or anything like that. And if you do stump me, I will find you an answer, and I will get you an answer. So don't feel like anything is off the table. Okay, Carol, no problem at all. Jen Brockman says I'm a know-it-all, and you know what? She's totally right. I am a know-it-all. She's awful. No, I'm just kidding. For those listening to the replay, who don't know Jen, she does low-content publishing, and one thing that I've been getting a lot of requests for from my clients, so I think it might be of service to let you know, is reformatting PLR into low-content publishing, or sorry, it's in the bathroom. Reformatting PLR into low-content publishing, like journals and planners and blah, blah, blah. Jen's your go-to girl. She runs Jenny's Journals and Planning Addicts. Is that right, Jen? You'll let me know if I'm wrong. I know you will. Jen's going to talk. Brace yourself, boys and girls. Here she comes.
Okay, that's only fair considering I said you're a know-it-all. Okay, so first of all, I see your kitty. How cute.
Oh, were you on the call a few weeks ago when I talked about how she gets kicked out of every pet sitter?
No,
This is her.
Oh, how funny.
There's only one pet sitter in the county who still takes her, and so I always bend over backwards for this pet sitter because I don't want to lose her.
Oh my gosh, what's so bad about her?
She's just awful. She's honoring. She doesn't in all fairness, she's blind in one eye, so she doesn't like strangers and new smells. So even if she's here, a stranger will freak her out. She'll growl if nobody's here, and she'll spit, and she'll hiss. I told my husband she's going to wind up on YouTube. You just watch. Somebody's going to put her on YouTube.
My boyfriend has an awful cat too, but he's awful to us. So.
Oh wow! See, at least she's nice to me for the most part.
Okay, so what you were talking about actually brought up something for me. So talking about repurposing stuff. Chad, I'm not even going to try to say his last name.
Oh yeah.
Talking about.
Who you're talking about?
He and Charles, I think, somebody put out something about vision boards a couple of months ago, maybe. I took that idea and just recently turned it into a journal. And that's going to launch with my birthday party coming up at the end of the month. So people can actually have a better view of what that looks like. But what I did was very similar to what you were describing. I took a part of the overall package. So in that package, he had like a 10-day challenge, and he had like an ebook or something, and then some other stuff that went with it. Well, I took that 10-day challenge and I went through it day by day, and I thought, well, what might help somebody actually work through these challenge steps? And I created, like planner pages, lists for one day, and just some kind of cute layouts, so that instead of doing your visioning on a great big bulletin board or whatever, you actually can just do it like right inside the journal pages, like on a 2-page thread. So, so that's just kind of one really simplified example of how you can turn one thing into something completely different.
And what I love about that example you just gave is that it's not just something you can do as a PLR user, but for the PLR sellers who listen to these calls, if you take somebody's PLR, you don't use that PLR, but a good idea is you find ways to complement it.
Exactly.
That brings up affiliate opportunities, because I'm sure that Chad's going to have a whole slew of people now who are interested in vision boards. So
Right.
It brings up possible affiliate opportunities and everything else. I want to be really clear. PLR sellers, you do not use that PLR. You
Right.
will be roasted to no tomorrow if you do that. But it's definitely a great way to find complementary angles.
Right. Yeah. And I didn't use his wording. And in fact, I didn't even use the whole 10 days. I turned it into, I think it came out to be like 7 steps or something. I rewrote those steps into what made sense to me, and and turned it into instructions for using it in a journal, as opposed to using it on, a poster board or something like the traditional way of doing it. So, and then, like I said, I also designed actual pages to help people go through those steps. So yeah, yes, it's a PLR thing that I will resell as PLR, but it's not actually using his content. It's just using kind of that idea and then turning it into what I needed it to be.
So just to put it in a different light for those listening, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jen, but it's PLR that was used to give her an idea.
Yes, exactly.
What to create. It wasn't PLR that she took and she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna build my house around this. It wasn't like that.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, just a platform. Like Trish Linden Mood, she does a lot of recipe PLR packages. That would be great to have PLR on how to start a paleo diet when she has paleo recipes. Kind of like that. Is that a good?
Exactly. Yeah. I used the overall idea of it, but I didn't end up using any of the, his actual content, like word for word or anything like that.
That's brilliant. That's really smart, and that's hassle-free, and you've got the potential for affiliates right there, and you can. I know I'm going to be selling your birthday stuff, and by the way, we actually have someone who's into vision boards. So, yeah, I'll be sure to link her directly to you with that.
Cool.
That's really, yeah, we do. We just got somebody who's into vision boards, so.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, that's really nice. Well, I hope you're having fun doing your nails while the rest of us are in offices, but.
I'm in my home office too. I just didn't want to try to be working while I was listening, and I'm trying to eat my lunch.
It's okay.
Multitasking.
Did you have anything? See what I mean? Do you have anything else you want to talk about today, Miss Jen?
I don't think so. That idea just popped up as an example.
I'm really glad you gave a second perspective on that. I do appreciate that. So again, for those of you who don't know, Jen does low content publishing. If you want planners, journals, anything like that, go to Jen. If you have questions on how to monetize those things, go to Jen. If you have questions on who Jen is, email me, rachel@useplr.com, and I'll hook you up with her. So thank you very much, Jen. I appreciate it. Anybody else have anything that they want to chit-chat about today? I know that we have kind of a smaller group today because apparently my Zoom link was giving people headaches, which is really frustrating for me because it's not the first time that it's happened. I think that I am just, I'm just a mess, I think is what my issue is. I don't know, I'm just a technology mess. Case in point, I just realized I have my headphones on and I have my headphone plug in here. It's not even plugged in. So let's just stop using that. Oh my gosh, what a day. Anyway, so any questions on images, other ways to reformat, what a PLR license is, who has a good free PLR that you may want to look at, or do you have a niche and you're like, hey, I kind of want to know what PLR I should use for this niche? Let me know. Let us know. The other thing that we're going to do is I want to hear a little bit for anyone who feels comfortable sharing, I want to hear like your business and what cool things you've done in your business. And even just if you want to provide a web link, what we do when we showcase our businesses on these power hours is the next day when I send out the notes for this, then that goes out to my email. So my email clients will learn about your business. It helps generate some clicks and helps people kind of get familiar with who you are. The other thing we do is we make show notes for these power hours, and we house those on both the YouTube channel and our members group, so that people tend to get traffic long after these hours because of the way that we have this structured. So if you would like to talk about who you are and give me a little bit about your business and all that fun stuff, let me know. Just let me know in the chat box. Just say, hey, I want to chat today. If you don't want to chat, that's fine too. We can always wrap a few minutes early, or you can listen to me talk a little more, which I know everybody really likes to do. So so again, reformatting is big. If you want some tips on how to reformat quickly, I can do that for you. Whatever you need done. If you want one-on-one coaching with me, let me know. We are starting a coaching program, and it's going to be a monthly coaching program. And currently we have a sample of a small selection of folks who were taking it at a very reduced price just because it benefits both of us. I get the kinks worked out of my coaching program, and you get coaching for like less than four times less than what you would pay for normally, or 5 times less, or some crazy thing like that. So, I mean, it works. But if that interests you, let me know, rachel@usplr.com. If you would like to join our Facebook group, where we have previous power hours that you can watch, as well as other people who are using PLR that you can connect with. You can connect with people in your niche. We have service providers, we have PLR accountability program, and lots of other fun things. We have a lot of PLR sellers who are in the group. These are only PLR sellers that I've worked with personally, that I trust, that have good reputations. If they don't, they're not in here. So here is that link if you're interested in that. Just Facebook, use PLR members group. And does anybody? Yeah, Jen says they may be a little bit smart-assy, and they are a little bit. Some of them. Most of them are great. No, they're all great. I'm just kidding. But the big thing about the group is that people like to help people in the group, and it's all the law of karma, right? So, like, for instance, Jen, who does these planners and journals, she comes in the group and people tag her if they have questions on that, and they learn from her. And you know what kind of happens from that is, they tend to get on her mailing list, and then they tend to, like, 2 people have planner PLR sites, let's say. Who do you trust more? Do you trust the person that you were able to ask questions to? The person that you were able to tag in different questions that you had, the person who responded to you? Or do you trust the person that you've heard of, but you never really worked with? It's kind of a no-brainer, right? So it means a lot. Yeah, and Jen says she remembers what it was like to get started, and it is hard. Getting started is definitely the hardest part of this whole journey. Is just starting. It just feeling comfortable putting one foot in front of the other. Little secret, I didn't make more than $600 a year for my first 3 years, I think, 2 to 3 years. But it wasn't just because I was working. It was also because I was terrified of taxes. So see, so then I got my life straight. I got an accountant and all that fun stuff. But still, I mean, we can truly be paralyzed by things if we don't just move through them. And that's, you know, so yeah, getting started in business is definitely the biggest hurdle. Just doing it is so important. Trying to connect with people who you can trust is really important. Finding your tribe, so to speak, and finding people that you know that you can learn from and grow with and all that good stuff. Jen says that when she got started, the people who helped her meant the world to her. Sniff, sniff. I know that was me. I know one of those people. But either way, she said, like, when she got started, those people meant the world to her, and now this is her way of giving back. And that's completely the way that it is. You're going to find your business path. You're going to build a community there. Figure out how to build a community there. You're going to serve that community. And you're going to succeed. That's the way it goes. We have a lot of really good folks in our group. We did have one person the other week that I booted just because it was more of a I need to make money like right now, but not like a what can I do to work to make money right now. It was just more of an easy button type of situation. And I tried to explain that that's not really the way that this works. You know, you have to engage with people. You have to be a person to people. You have to be more than just some name on a computer screen that pops into their email. You know, you have to really try to serve your community, and then it all comes back. And it didn't really. I guess he just wasn't really a great fit for the group. I'll just leave it at that. So. Okay, so it is 1:45. We can wrap early, guys. So yay for that. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Please feel free to join me in the Facebook group. I will have the recap of this, the recording, in our email in our group tomorrow. So keep an eye out for tomorrow's email and tomorrow's Facebook group. Feel free to email me if you have any questions between this week and next. Rachel@useplr.com. Next week, what do I have? Easy steps to find PLR in your niche. See you then. That's next Tuesday at 1:00 p.m. Eastern. And hopefully the Zoom room will be acting accordingly so that nobody gets booted out. You're more than welcome, Carol. It was great seeing you today. Hope you're doing good, sweetheart. All right, so goodbye, guys. To the new folks, I really appreciate you taking some time to join us today. And please let me know if I can help you in any way. I'm more than happy to do that. That's what I love to do. So even if you don't feel that I'm right for you, I would be more than happy to try to connect you with somebody who is, because I love doing this stuff. So, all right, everybody, have a great week. Be productive. Change the world. Do good things. I will talk to you guys later.